Praise the Lord. Welcome to Wednesday night Bible study at Glory Temple Ministries with Dr. Karen Deadwyler. Glory Temple in the house. Yeah. Everybody excited. We're going live. Just want to talk about a few things tonight. We won't be here long, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Just want to talk about a few proverbs that are in the Bible. Mainly I wanted to talk because I thought it was interesting that when you believe in God and you believe in different things, you really don't know where to start with Bible study. So I thought about just teaching some principles of the Bible which has the ability to change your life. How do that sound? Like everybody needs a life-changing word, right? That sounds good. So I thought about Proverbs 18, 20 to 21. If you have your Bibles, you can get it. If you're not, you can listen to me. I'm going to read them and read the verse and verses. And my topic would have been, be careful how you talk. And watch what you say. You just might get it. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So Proverbs 18:20, a man's stomach will be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. He will be satisfied with the consequences of his word. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it and indulge in it will eat its fruit and bear the consequences of their words. And so you want to think about that. And I thought about making it very easy tonight for anybody to understand. And the thing is, watch what you say. How many of you know that even though we're used to talking negative and we're used to doing all that, and whatever you speak out of your mouth is the situation that you will be in. That's scriptural. And a lot of people don't realize that. Sometimes we just say, oh, you're killing me. Oh, I can't take it. Oh, if I get another thing, I'm going to fall out. And instead of speaking the opposite, because how many of you know what you speak comes into your environment? So let's go back to the scripture. It says a man's stomach will be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. So when you think about that, satisfied, a man's stomach will be satisfied. Satisfied is kind of like a man's values will be met by what he says. Think about it. When you think about somebody, don't you judge a person by what they say? It ain't really so much about how they look, because they can be kind of bummy and you can feel sorry for them. But if they can look, they can be sharp, they can be dressed nice, and if they talk nasty, got a nasty attitude, speaking the wrong words, speaking things that shouldn't be spoken, and then you judge them by that. So that's the fruit of the man's stomach, as they say. That's where your ear comes from. You look at it like that. And so the fruit of his mouth, you judge them by what they say. So the thing about it is, how many of y'all know that God judges us by what we say? And we judge people, and you know we judge people harder than God judges us, because if God had to judge us like we were supposed to be judged, we'd be dead. We wouldn't even be here to talk, but he gives us grace and mercy because of sin. So we're in a dispensation of grace. He gave us favor. He took our place on the cross, all of that nice stuff, because he knew that we weren't going to be able to be sinless. So, but the thing about it is, we don't realize how important what we say is. And so you got to think about that thing for real. Satisfied with the fruits of his mouth. And so, like I said, I'm going to back up, and I said, I believe in teaching the principles of the Bible, which has the ability to change your life. I consider the Bible life-changing words. And I used to have a column that I used to write for Elder Montgomery. And it was exciting because when you think about it, every day you need to have something or hear something or somebody say something, a word that changes your life. There can't be a better word than Jesus. That's the name above every name, right? Everything has to bow, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. That's a word. People don't realize that that's a word. There's power in that word. So when you think about the other things that you say, there's power. How many times have people said something to you that made you walk away? Made you give up? Made you might want to hit them, but we can't do that because we in the church, right? But how many times have we done that? So the principles of the Bible is the values and the morals of the Bible. We want to teach the sound, as they say, sound doctrine. No man is going to get it 100% perfect, as they say, because we're not God, but we're going to teach it on the correct line of the scripture. And so if you teach principles, So I could have taught about Joshua, I could have taught theology, something else, but I thought about going live, and I thought about teaching people something basic, something that can change their life simply by the way you talk. Simply how the way you approach a person, what comes out of your mouth. That's simple, and yet everybody is judged on what they say. How do we value and how do we determine person's character? By what they say. Isn't that what we do? Yes. Right? We judge them by what they say. We look at them and we think to ourselves, oh, they hateful. Oh, they nice. Oh, they stupid. We have all kinds of judgments. And we judge them by what? What they said, their words. And so it says, he will be satisfied with the consequences of his word. So not only are you judged by him, your stomach will be satisfied with the fruit of your mouth, but now it says he will be satisfied with the consequences of his word. Satisfied, content. Are you content all the time when you say something? If everything you said was to come back at you, how satisfied would you be? If everything somebody else said would have been true about you, how satisfied would you be? Not too satisfied. You wouldn't be that satisfied. You wouldn't be that happy. Sometimes the reason why I'm teaching this tonight is because I want you to think before you speak. I want you to think before you talk. I want you to talk good things. Even in the midst of a storm, talking good things is still a good thing. And why do I say that? Because you can talk your way out of trouble. Absolutely. Now, that sounds funny because the power of the tongue makes the difference in your life. So you can talk your way out of trouble. And have you ever been in trouble? You ever been pulled over, or a cop ever stopped you and you talked your way out of a ticket? Right? So think about that. You can talk your way out of trouble. It sounds crazy, but some of us talked our way into trouble. And so what am I going to teach you? Tonight I want to teach you how to talk your way out of it. You are what you confess. If you think and this is how I'm going to prove it to you, that words matter. Remember when you used to say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me? Well, we know that's definitely a lie. Because I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you how I know it's a lie. How many people do you have that have grown up and their mother or father said, you're going to be just like your dad or mom. You're going to be no good. You're dumb. You're stupid. You're ugly. And people are dealing with that today. Those words that came from when they were 2, 3, 4, 5. People are dealing with those words today. And so that's why I decided to talk about the power of the word. Because let's just reverse that. If you feel that way, then look in the mirror and start speaking good to yourself. Start speaking good things over your life. Start speaking good things over your job, your money, your health, your family, your kids, everything that's pertaining to you. Start speaking good things. And then you will be satisfied with the consequences of your word. If you're speaking negative things, then most of the time you got a negative attitude. What's in your heart comes out your mouth. And so if you find yourself in a negative situation, start to speak good things. Start to think about it. You can look at it and say, well, you know what? Even if I can't do it, God is able to do all things but fail. You know, you can think things like that. Sometimes you can't see your way out, but you know that God is able to do all things, like I said, but fail. Nothing is impossible for God. So we have to start thinking things like that, because when we're in trouble and we're looking for help, and hope sometimes it's not in a person. How many of y'all, have you ever been in a situation where a person can't help you? Yes. And so you can't do nothing but ask God. And so you've got to what? You've got to start turning your words around. You got to start thinking, and you got to start talking about, you got to sometimes encourage yourself. You got to look in the mirror and say, it ain't as bad as it seems. My God is able to do all things. You know what? I'm going to look in the mirror. He's Jehovah Jireh. He's El Shaddai. He's Jehovah Rapha. He's Jehovah everything. He's El Shaddai. He's the breasted one. He can do all things. And sometimes you got to talk to yourself, because you're in a situation where no one can help you. The bank can't help you. Your family can't help you. Life can't help you. You can't even help yourself. And so what happens? You begin to speak to yourself, and you begin to say, you know what? It's not over, because I found out that in the principles of the Bible that sometimes I can talk my way out of stuff. If I can believe it, I can receive it. Isn't that what they say? And so I wanted people to understand, because I hear so many people in today's time talking negativity. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't got enough money. You know, I don't got a man. I can't find a man. I don't have enough money to buy a house and this and that. Well, if you keep on complaining instead of looking for a solution, I'm just giving you a principle right here. Of course, there's got to be a plan and there's got to be some goals. But the principle is change the way you talk. Change the way you talk. You may even have to change with who you're with, because they're talking negative. Sometimes you got to get around positive people. Sometimes you got to delete some people and add some other people. Why? Because you're in a place where everybody is stuck and can't nobody talk their way out. Ain't nobody got enough faith to believe God. Ain't nobody got enough faith to change anything. Ain't nobody got enough faith to say, listen, come on, let's lay down and pray. Nobody got enough faith to do anything. So you got to what? Change. You got to find some faith builders, not faith destroyers. So you got to keep on looking. You got to keep on saying to yourself, listen, this is a time in my life where I don't understand, God, what is going on. I can't figure it out. But you know what? I'm going to speak those things that be like they're not, even though they are so. That's the reason. And so what? I may be broke, but I'm still rich. Yes. He died so that I could be, he became poor so I could become rich, right? He died so I could have life abundantly. So he came to set the captives free. If you in captivity, he came to set you free. The devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. But he said, but I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So he said, what? I didn't come here just so you could be saved, just for you to sit down and suffer and complain. I came so you could be free, so you could be happy, so you can have an abundant life. That means everything. That don't just mean money. A lot of people look at abundance as money, prosperity as wealth, all of that. But he said, no. That's the only reason why I came. I came so that you can have a life where your mind could be set free. But the problem is you speaking the wrong things. You speaking yourself into trouble. You speaking yourself into places that you don't even deserve or belong. And I'm watch this now. You let other people speak you there too. It's bad enough we talk bad ourselves. But it's nothing worse than being around somebody that every day when you get up, they look at you and they say, oh, this is a day from hell. Oh, Jesus. You know, and you look at them and you say, well, is that the way we call Jesus? No. We're supposed to be calling him for the answer, not making him the trouble. No. And so you get around people and all day long, they complain. You ever met people like that? Where every time you see them, how you doing? Oh. You know, you look at them, you're like, oh my God. And then after a while, what do? You try to duck them. Because it's bad enough you have to deal with your own situation, your own issues, and your own problems. It's hard enough to keep yourself happy. And you can't keep yourself happy and prosperous without God anyway. But it's bad enough to do it for yourself, to encourage yourself. You want to go and inspire, encourage others. And then you get around people that every time you see them, they're complaining. Every time you see them, they're talking negative. Every time you see them, they have nothing good to say. And so I see it a lot. I hear it a lot. And I think they look at you, and because you're a pastor, they think you want to hear their trouble. And it's not reality. You don't want to hear anybody's trouble, but you do have an answer for their trouble. And so the answer for all those who are in trouble, that are in a negative environment, change your environment, change the way you walk, change the way you talk, change what you believe. One word can make a difference. One word. I'm telling you. All you got to do, how you doing? I'm doing good. It may not be true, but that's how I feel. Because you know what? Just because you feel bad doesn't mean you're doing bad. I know a whole lot of people that are blessed that walk around like they all tore up. Because their mindset, their thoughts are wrong. And you can look at people, and when you think you're not blessed, ask somebody that ain't blessed or is less blessed than you, ask them what they think. You know, you're looking around, you're saying, oh, I can't make my bills. And the other person is saying, Lord, if you just give me a job.
That's it.
The words that I speak, they're spirit of life to those who find them, right? That's biblical too. So you got to think about it. The words that I speak are spirit and life to those who find them. See, sometimes you got to find things. It's the words you got to find. Many people speak, but you don't have to hear everything. You don't have to take everything into your spirit. But the good words, find them. When they speak them, find them. Catch a hold of them. Grab a hold of them. The bad words, let them get out of your mind. Don't hold on to those things. And so when you find it, it's easier found. You know, it's just like, think about it. When you find gold, would you throw it away? No. So when you find somebody that is speaking life over you, that's speaking inspiration into you, encouraging you, talking about you can do it, and you don't have to give up, you don't throw it away. You don't get rid of them kind of people and keep the people that say, you know, you ain't no good. And sometimes, unfortunately, we have both sides of the story. So we need those people that speak life over you because of those people that spoke destruction over you. So you need to be, what? Encouraged, inspired. And though what does that better than words? Words will keep you inspired. Words will also keep you depressed. Because let me tell you something, trouble don't last always. As they say, this too shall pass. It's going to pass, but how you deal with it is going to make how long it happens. Because it could be a week, but if you feel all messed up, it'll feel like a month. But if you can get somebody, and you can get with somebody, and you can speak to somebody, and they can speak to you, and they can say, well, Larry, it's going to be all right. Whatever it is, God's got it. Sometimes that thing will change your life. Sometimes one word. Because how many of y'all know the words have the power to heal and change lives? The scriptural words. So the consequences of his words. So when you think about it, every time you open your mouth, I want you to think about, before you open it and before you speak, whatever you speak, if the consequence was to hit you, would you want it? Before you speak over somebody else, on yourself, any kind of negative thing, think of the consequence. If you say, oh my God, it's killing me. If it was to really kill you, would you speak it? It may not be killing you physically, but it'll be killing you emotionally. It'll be taking your hope. It'll be taking your dreams and your vision. Keep talking about what's killing you, and it will kill you. It'll kill your spirit. So you got to forget about those kind of things. Just changing little things. And that's why I said I'm talking about the principles, the morals, the values, the main beliefs, the things that we speak out of our mouth. Most of the time it's coming from our heart. It's really what you feel like at that moment. But you know how many of you know we can't speak everything we feel? First of all, you might get in trouble. And the second part, you might get beat up. And then the other part, you might get thrown out. Depends on who you're speaking to. Might lose your job or whatever. So we have self-control, right? The fruit of the Spirit is self-control. How about let's control our mouths and speak good things over each other, speak good things over our family, our friends, and anything else. How about let's just, the principle that I want you to catch on to tonight is speak good things. Speak good words. Even when it's rough, I'm going to make it. Even when I can't see my way through, God's got me. If I can't do anything else, Lord, I can lay on the floor and pray. Lord, if I can't do anything else, Lord, they say I can lift my hand. Start speaking your way out of the trouble that you're in. Because some of the trouble that you're in is because of what you're saying. And it's terrible. And so what does it say? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So we know what death is. And of course, we're not speaking death as the physical body. And of course, there is a possibility that there is death. But because I've seen people that speak enough till they just give up on life. It takes away their life. But you can kill a thing. You ever had came, and I'll prove this to you right here. You ever got excited because you had a vision? And you thought about something, and you wanted to do it. You had this dream, and you wanted to do it. Maybe you want to get a boat. Maybe you want to get a coat. I don't know. Maybe you want to open up a business, and you go find whoever's closest to you, and you go tell them, and they look at you, and they say, oh, that was dumb. Death. Right there. They just killed some of your vision. Death. People don't realize that. So you got to watch, even then, who you tell your hopes and dreams to. Because you go in, and they don't mean to do it. I don't believe they mean to do it, but they're that type of person. So when you go to tell somebody your dreams and your vision, make sure you go into somebody that's inspiring, that's encouraging, and may say to you, well, I don't see myself doing it, but you know what, girl, Joy, you can do it. You can do this thing. You know what? Don't give up. Try it. It can't hurt. Worst thing you can do is fail. To me, failure is not failure. To me, it's a lesson. This is a way that, okay, this time it didn't work, but next time I'm going to try it a different way. But if you don't do nothing, or if somebody comes and you, just like I said, they kill your dreams and hopes. How many of y'all have seen that? You come and you excited, and you pumped. You done woke up, you done got a vision or a dream, you done got a thought, or you done got an epiphany, call it whatever you want to call it, right? And then you go and you tell the person, and you're so excited, they look at you and they say, oh, I don't see no point in that. Why waste your time on that? You ain't gonna get paid. You ain't gonna, and then death. The words just killed your dreams. And so I'm telling you, you got to be more powerful than that. I look at people like that and I say, wrong one. Okay, let me go find somebody else and talk to. And if I can't talk to nobody else, let me tell you, I can talk to myself. How about encouraging yourself, speaking words over yourself? You know what? This look bad right now, but you know what? This ain't going to happen. I decree and declare that this is going to change. Yes. I'm going to change. This is going to change. I'm going to have a better life. I'm going to be more excited. I'm going to be more inspired. I'm going to be more encouraged. This ain't going to take away my joy. It ain't going to take away my life. I'm not going to let no words that I speak or anybody else speak kill anything that belongs to me or anything around me. Because I'm going to start speaking what? Life. It said death and life are in the power of the tongue, which means you got a choice. Which way do you want to do? You want to live? Do you want to speak life, or you want to speak death over things? Do you want to speak death over your family, over your ministry, over your life, every vision, every dream? Or do you want to speak life? Life. A lot of people don't realize that. They're walking around and they're killing themselves. Oh, this job sucks. You know what? Somebody else wish they had it. That's right. Oh, man, I need a raise. This is just not enough money. You know what? Somebody else don't got no money. And I said, God, because they don't have any. It's empty, zero. And when we complain and we don't be thankful, and if you're not thankful for what you have already, why get more? Sometimes you got to be thankful for just what you got right where you at. Start thanking him. Thank you, Lord, for my job. May not be the one that I wanted, and I got a better dream. God didn't never say don't dream. He never said don't wish for more. He never said don't believe for more. But the one thing he don't want you to do is talk down for what he already blessed you with. Whatever you got, God gave it to you. How many of y'all know that? And so you want to speak life over it. And if you want a promotion, start speaking it. I can't see it. God, I don't understand it, but I want a promotion. I want to do better. I want to go back to school. But Lord, I don't have the money. Can you open up the way? Can you make a way? You'd be surprised. God can make ways out of no ways. He is the way, the truth, and the light, right? So we got to think about things like that. And so it says, and those who love it, those who love the way they speak. You ever met somebody that just love talking negative? You be saying, don't say that, girl, I can't help it. Girl, listen, that's just how I flow. They love it. You're looking at them, you say, you're killing yourself. And they saying, they loving it. They think they got it all together. Girl, hey, listen, this is me. Take me as I am. And I'm looking at them saying, well, that's going to be you forever. Because as long as you're speaking death over your own life, I sure can't help you. Because every time I try to tell you, you're looking at me talking about, this is me. This is how I flow. This is how I do. This is the way I talk. This is the way I speak. Well, you need to learn a new way to speak if you're doing that. Because you're speaking yourself into a death zone. You speaking life right out of you. Instead of speaking your hopes and your dreams, you're speaking the negativity that may be going on in your life. Or sometimes people are speaking past negativity. They can't get past the past. Every time you see them, you say, girl, you know, back in the day. And you be like, girl, that was 20 years ago. Girl, back in the day, oh, you ain't like you used to be. No, I can't be like I used to be. Even if I wasn't saved, I'm not like I used to be. I'm old. I'm older. Bones hurt. Things happen, right? And people want to be the same. You can't stay the same. Everything has got to change. So my thought is, if we're going to change, why not be for the better? Let's do this thing together. Let's change for the better. Let's speak. Let's teach each other how to speak to each other, speak over each other, and speak into each other. See, all of that matters. And that's what people don't realize. Somebody speaking over you, into you, it matters. It matters what people say to you. And although we may act like it don't, words hurt. Anybody been hurt by words? I bet you can remember more words that hurt you than more that encouraged you. That's how important words are. There goes the death. That's what they were talking about. And he said death. Notice he said death and life. Death seems to come quicker when words come out faster. When people encourage you, you say, oh, girl, thank you. And you try not to be, you all arrogant or nothing. You be like trying to be humble. Sometimes they catch you off guard. You be like, what? Because you're so used to people speaking negative that when somebody does walk up to you, say, girl, you got it going on. You working it. Or sir, you doing this so-and-so. And, I'm very proud of you. And people look at you and say, huh? Because they're so used to the negative. Girl, you ain't nobody. Oh, she thinks she all of that. That's your thought. That may not be the other person's thought. But when you speak that stuff in the atmosphere, not only do you speak it, you make other people think it. That person may not even be feeling like that. That person may not even be feeling good, may have poor self-esteem, and you're looking at them because of the way they look. You thinking to yourself, Oh, they think they all of that, and that person doesn't even think that. And then you put it out in the room, and now you got everybody thinking that, and what? Now you're speaking death over a person that is humble.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to watch what you say. Watch what you say. Watch what you say for yourself. Even speaking over your kids, speaking to your husband, speaking to your pastors and to Christians, anybody. I believe that everybody has feelings. Our job is to make you feel good, not bad. Now, I'm not saying lie, but I'm saying make somebody, listen, if you got to say, you know, your wig is kicking, your shoes is working, you know, your outfit is working, you got the nicest smile, you want to encourage somebody, words matter. And they do. And most people are messed up because of what someone else said, how someone else talked about them, negative, even if it was true or even if it wasn't true. How many times you see such nice-looking women and men that think they're ugly because they've been called ugly by somebody, or they've been abused, so they assume if you abuse me, I'm ugly. One thing has nothing to do with the other. The person that was abusing you or messing you up was already probably the same situation. So I want you to think about that, the consequences that you bear from the words that you speak. Don't you want to live a good life? Don't you want to speak good over yourself?
Yes.
Why do people say speak life? Because life is living. It's not just the oxygen that you breathe, but the excitement, the vision to be able to get up in the morning and say, ooh, what am I going to do today? You know, oh, I'm going out with my husband. I'm going out with my friends. I'm going back to school. You know, I'm going to church today. I'm going to give God glory. That's life. You get up and there's life in your body. You're excited about what's going on. You're inspired. You're empowered. You think about it and you say, oh, I'm getting up. You get up and you wake up excited because life is in front of you, not behind you, but in front of you. There's things to do. There's something that I want to try. There's something that I've never tried before. I like to get a boat. I want to go on a cruise. I want to do whatever. Yeah, I want to go on a vacation. That's life. Even going to work is life. How many of y'all know a lot of people, they go to work and they complain, but how about being thankful for the job you got? You want a promotion, but you hate the job you got. Don't you think your boss know you hate it? Your words that you speak. Don't think that nobody don't know what you're saying. Because sometimes you don't have to say a word, but your body speaks words. Your actions speak multitudes. And so you have to pay attention to all of that. If I walk around like this, I didn't have to say anything. You know. Say, man, something wrong with her. Sometimes you got to lift your head up. Never mind what nobody else says about you. God says you're wonderful. Sometimes you got to lift your head up and you got to say, you know what? I don't know my father, but I know God is my father. I don't know my mother. I don't know where they at. They may be passed on, or they may didn't treat me good, but you know God always loved me. He's going to treat me good no matter what I do. Even when I fall short, even if I become just like them, God's still going to love me. He's still going to help me. If I'm looking for help, He is my helper. If I'm looking for something to say, then I can get in His word and find some encouragement. I'm looking for something that's going to bless my life, not curse it. I'm looking to be blessed, and I'm looking to bless others. Think about that. When you open your mouth, do you bless others or do you hurt them? How quick are we with the tongue? Watch what you say. Watch what you say. And it matters. And so, when it says, and bear the consequences of their words, we're going to bear what we say. And so I want to close with this verse. Luke 6:45, and I'm going to do the King James Version. Better yet, Proverbs, I did 18:20. I want you to know which one I did, 18:20 to 21. So if you want to go back and read them, you can read them because it is a Bible study. I'm just talking about the principles. But I thought it was very important before you even get into your next season, your new season. No need of going in there talking wrong. So we want to talk life. We want to get the right things out of our mouth, the right things in our spirit. And we want to be able to bless people and bless ourselves. It's nothing worse than getting up and opening your mouth and cursing yourself and speaking death over yourself. So we believe that you're going to speak life. So Luke 6:45, King James Version. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And an evil man out of the evil treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. So in other words, what am I saying? As I close, I'm going to let you know some of the stuff that you're speaking, check your heart, because it's coming from there. That's where it's coming from. It's still in there. You may need to be healed. You may need to be delivered. You may need to be set free. You may need to be loved on. I don't know what the reason is, but a lot of the stuff that we speak, we negative because it's in our heart. So we may need a heart transplant. That's a whole nother lesson. But I thank God for a Bible study tonight. I hope that it blessed you. I pray that the words that I spoke out of my mouth was spirit and life for you, and I hope that you found them. So this is Dr. Karen Deadwyler, Wednesday night Bible study at Glory Temple Ministry. If you want to be present, it's at 588 Seaman Avenue, and we're here every Wednesday at 7:30. We thank you and we praise you. Have a blessed night. God bless you, and we love you. Amen.